So we are hours from the opportunity to save New York, and it seems that there's still a sliver of hope because, Cuomo is just 3 or 4 points behind Soren Mamdani in the mayoral race. And yeah, this is extremely tight. And if you haven't voted yet, if you know somebody in New York City who hasn't voted, tell them that this is the only chance to save New York from socialism. Breaking: a new poll shows Andrew Cuomo leading by 8 points among New York City women. Many female voters say they're terrified of the crime and lack of police presence under Mamdani's vision for the city. That this is good, but please, these polls are only just let's say suggestions. It's important to see what's really going on. One thing that I noticed is the ballots, in which Mamdani appears twice in the top row, right? Twice. And Eric Adams still appears in there. And you have to look for Cuomo in the second row to the right. So statistically, yeah, that is a big deal. That is a big problem because that is something that, let's say that it hurts the odds for Cuomo. New York City mayoral ballot shows exactly how Mamdani's campaign is cheating. His name appears first twice and is easily found. Cuomo's name is hard to find and only appears once. New York City doesn't have voter ID either, so illegals will undoubtedly be helping Mamdani cheat. And shame on Sliwa for staying in the race, knowing very well he can't win, and he'll all but guarantee a Mamdani victory. This is already, yeah, this is the thing that is happening. Eric Adams is still on the ballot because he evidently dropped out too late. New York City is a broken city that will now get to see how and why socialism has always failed throughout history. And it's going to fail once again if Soren Mamdani wins. So make sure that you go out there and vote. We have some people who have still some, let's say, common sense is the word that I was looking for. I mean, therefore I am. Actress Deborah Messing said she voted for Cuomo in the New York City mayoral election because he has years of experience, unlike Mamdani, who has never held a job and is not qualified to lead the financial center of our country. I mean, how is this that hard to understand? How is it so hard to understand? I really don't know. Mamdani labels Elon Musk, Stephen Miller, and Donald Trump as architects of the crisis of authoritarianism. Elon has been added to the Mamdani attack list for backing Cuomo. Well, yes, he also said that Mamdani, or whatever his name is, he made fun of his name. George Santos. Please, my NYC MAGA family, understand the stakes and how high they are. They are high stakes. A vote for Curtis is a vote for Mamdani, literally. As bad and horrible as Cuomo is, I'd rather him over the jihadist sympathizer. Please vote like your life depends on it. This is very important. We have some numbers. Incredibly interesting crosstabs. Cuomo is relatively stronger with the native New Yorkers, low income, and people who live in public and rent-controlled units. Mamdani does relatively better with the transplants, the rich, and market-rate renters. Why do the rich want socialism? Maybe they feel bad about they being rich. They want a transfer of wealth. Maybe they can do that themselves without the socialism. Maybe they could arrange that without they being forced to it. Kristen Mag, socialism ruins cities. Mamdani will ruin New York City. Please do not let this socialist DSA commie win. Vote for Andrew Cuomo. And it's important. This quotes from Mamdani. Socialism is the extension of democracy into the areas of collective life from which is prohibited under capitalism. That is nonsense. Everything that you have today is thanks to capitalism. It's people who build stuff thanks to capitalism. It's as simple as that. I don't know how to explain this. I should be talking about the AI, by the way, in another topic, in another video. But right now we need to address that it has never worked. And it's never going to work. This is going to be disastrous for New York City. The New York Post, 92-year-old Holocaust survivor votes for first time ever to back Cuomo to stop Mamdani. That is so amazing. And this is what we were talking about. The New York mayor ballot shows Zohran Mamdani on the top row multiple times. Eric Adams dropped out but is still on the ballot. Andrew Cuomo is buried in the corner. At the end of this clip, I added a video of a New Yorker voting. You see proof the actual ballot has these issues. Yeah, that is the problem, because Mamdani is backed by two parties. But again, it was like it wasn't on purpose. Whoever designed this ballot knew what they were doing. And Curtis Lee was still embarrassing himself. I mean, man, you look like the sane option, but you have to think strategically. You want to save New York City. You have to look at your odds. You look at your polls. Look at your numbers. You absolutely must have numbers on your own that tell you that you couldn't possibly win. If Zohran Mamdani wins, it becomes the mayor. It is obvious that you knew that this was going to happen. Curtis Sliwa knew that this was going to happen, because he must have. If any candidate has their own numbers, if you see that your numbers are not solid and you don't have opportunity, if you don't have the odds. I'm not saying, of course, this hasn't finished. The voting hasn't finished, but it's from what we see and what people is saying. This is basically, I said that, I called it this out. This is a race between two brands, two candidates. It's always a race between two brands or candidates. Andrew Cuomo is human garbage, says a 9mm SMG. But, and should be in prison after what he did during COVID. Mamdani should be deported. Hell of a situation and New York City has. Mamdani is the worst option. It's the worst option. New Andrew Cuomo reacts to President Trump's endorsement. The president does not support me. The president opposes Zohran Mamdani. This is more or less like people who voted for Kamala Harris because they did not want to vote for Donald Trump, or they have a Trump derangement syndrome. But this is basically on point. Cuomo or Mamdani? I think Cuomo is the right way. Again, Donald Trump endorsed Cuomo and basically said, if communist candidate Zohran Mamdani wins the election for mayor of New York City, it is highly unlikely that I will be contributing federal funds other than the very minimum as required to my beloved first home, because of the fact that as a communist, this once great city has zero chance of success or even survival. It can only get worse with a communist at the helm, and I don't want to send as president good money after bad. So again, this is it. This is it, and I don't know what else to tell you, but maybe you can let me know what you think about this in the comments. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Ballot Language Guy. Much love and bliss.